Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Ryan here. Today I want to make a video on how to get over phone calls, the fear of the phone. I'm 36 years old, and I was able to get rid of the fear of the phone. Actually, I'm still scared of the phone, but making phone calls. But I'm like 1,000 times better than I was. I'll take phone calls now. So, if you're afraid of making phone calls, or you're afraid of being on the phone, here's what you can do. I was thinking about what has sort of made me recently make a giant leap in my ability to make phone calls, take phone calls, and have conversations with people. And if you're afraid of the phone, you should do this. Get Talkspace. Now, I know this sounds like a sponsored video, and it's not. You know, I've had Talkspace for over a year now, and Talkspace is essentially like you have your own therapist. It's like you have your own counselor, and it's really effective because if you're afraid of talking to strangers or people you don't really know on the phone, it's a really good way to start. Because the way I started was, well, before I get turned this into a huge plug, it's that you need some sort of way to feel pain at a comfortable rate. You need to feel the pain and discomfort at a comfortable rate. You know, again, using my always analogy of deadlifting. If you deadlift, you know, if you've never deadlifted before or you don't deadlift at all, trying to lift 400 pounds for the first, second, or even third time is not a good idea. And you will most likely get hurt if you push too hard. Or you will make it so that you don't ever want to deadlift again. Same thing with phone calls. If you take too many phone calls, if you take too many uncomfortable phone calls, you may never want to make a phone call again. You know, so and that's not necessarily true. I'm just using that as kind of a rough example. And the thing I want to say is that you need to warm yourself up, get used to it, right? Even in a workout session, you do some warm-up sets, you stretch a little bit, you add some weight, put some plates on, do some reps, add some weight, do some reps, add some weight, do some reps, and then you keep going. So same thing with phone calls or getting on the phone. Is that Talkspace, when I first signed up for it, I have this, you know, counselor that I can talk to and text, right? And I found myself not feeling that was worth anything to me because there was no immediacy, there was no connection. So what I did was I upgraded and did the video calls, and that was uncomfortable. Oh my God. You know, I don't know if you've ever had a voice call. If you are watching this video, there's a good chance that taking a video call freaks you out, and it freaks me out. So I took a video call, 1 hour, right? And I'm just uncomfortable as hell. But guess what? You get through it, you survive, and you make it through. It's probably the most uncomfortable I've felt in a long. I mean, you know, and that's the thing. You need to put yourself in situations where you're uncomfortable, but you can tolerate it. You know, and I was nervous to do this, but what I learned was that this one phone call I did, like, I don't know, in October or November, which is 7 months ago. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, 7 months. Yeah, 7 months ago. Really changed the way I view everything, or I shouldn't change the way. It has really strengthened me quite a bit, and I'm like kind of backtracking now, at that being one of the moments that allowed me to do that. Right, doing the videos have helped. Like someone asked me recently on a comment on a vlog, they asked me, has making vlogs reduce your social anxiety? I think it has, but not really. I mean, it has its help, but like the only way you're going to get good with dealing with people is the obvious. It's dealing with people and getting comfortable with it. You don't have to even be good, because most people that are comfortable with it aren't good. But this is what I'll say is I had a phone call with my counselor, and after talking, I'm able to sort of be very okay with being able to do this more and more. Because what I found is that I need to be able to just feel. Because the thing that the therapist is, I'm just being honest. I'm telling her everything I'm feeling, and she tells me that I'm having, you know, she helps me rationalize. Because a lot of time when you are feeling anxious, or you're feeling angry, or you're feeling uncomfortable, that's an emotional response, right? It's something that's built from millions of years in the back of your brain, your monkey brain, your lizard brain, your reptilian brain, and it's always there. Right? When someone rejects you, when someone yells at you in a unfair way, when someone treats you poorly, someone makes a really negative joke, and you interpret it as danger, right? But then the thing is, your body is responding to it before you can logically respond, right? And that's kind of what you're trying to practice honing. You're trying to get your mind, like if you've never seen a black cat before, right, ever in your life, and then you see a cat, it might spook you a little bit, right? Or if you see an elephant before, it might spook you a little bit if you've never seen it before, because you don't know what to expect, right? This is what makes kids good, because kids are amazing, because a lot of the time kids, for most things in their life, they'll be afraid, but then they'll be curious too. So it's actually learning how to be curious. Now I'm going a little tangent here, but this will have a point. If you can somehow focus on being curious instead of being afraid, or maybe have a little bit more curiosity during the amount of emotion or fear you're having on the phone, it will make a huge difference. So instead of being like, oh, I'm trying to sell this person, or oh, I'm trying to get this person to go out with me, you'll say instead, you'll just be curious about, like, what are you trying to do with your business, or what do you like to, what movies do you like, or what's the scariest thing you've ever done? You just be curious about the person. So curiosity is a very powerful ability and skill and strength. So that will help. That's like, I just came up with that on the fly. I just realized this is what it is. But I just wanted to mention Talkspace because being on I have a 1 month phone call, and that makes a big difference for me. It really does. It makes a huge difference for me because I can go the whole month without talking to anybody brand new, right? If you're watching this video, you probably are like that, I can go a whole month without talking to anyone brand new, and then I have this one sort of new person that I don't really talk to on a regular basis enough, where it's uncomfortable to talk to them, but then I get to kind of air out my thoughts, and then they kind of reflect them back, because that's the thing, that's what they're there for, that's what you're paying them for. You're paying for objective third-party advice versus, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, kids. There's just too much relationship there. When you have a third party that's not related to you, it really does give you a different kind of feedback. And also the great thing is that these people are typically well trained, so they're able to reflect back in a very non-judgmental way, because that's the problem. We're afraid of being misjudged, misunderstood. That's probably the greatest fear. We're afraid of being misunderstood. And another thing, going on another sort of tangent, is the people that are okay with being misunderstood continue to move forward anyway, so that they can master their communication, so they can get better at delivering their message. But that's the thing. It's like we are all afraid of being misunderstood. Like a lot of the time, that's the reason why we kind of get angry, if you want to think about it. I guess another kind of thought I had just now. Like, wow, the reason why I get angry, or my wife gets angry at me sometimes, is because, or my kids get angry, is because they feel misunderstood, right? They say something, and then you respond to it in a way that they did not expect, that is completely opposite of what they meant. And it really, really upsets them. And that's normal. It's kind of like, look, isn't this really funny? And then, and they're not fun, and it's not funny, and you maybe don't get upset, but you feel bad. I don't know if it makes any sense. But anyways, leave a comment if this video helped you. Don't leave a comment if it didn't. Thanks for watching.